The massive view screen aboard the international science vessel Hawking illuminated the bridge with an ethereal blue glow. Dr. Sarah Chen stood frozen, her dark eyes fixed on the approaching vessel that dwarfed their own ship. Its hull gleamed with an almost organic sheen, covered in intricate patterns that seemed to pulse with internal energy. "Multiple energy signatures detected," announced Lieutenant Park from his sensor station. "Nothing matches known configurations, but whatever they're running, it's massive." Sarah unconsciously touched the tablet in her hands, already itching to understand the technology before them. As the ship's lead engineer, she'd helped design many of the Hawking systems, but this alien vessel made their best technology look primitive in comparison. Ambassador Marcus Rodriguez stepped onto the bridge, his normally composed demeanor showing hints of tension around his eyes. "Any response to our greeting transmission?" "Nothing yet, sir," Communications Officer Hayes reported. "Wait, incoming transmission. Unknown format." The bridge speakers came alive with a series of musical tones and clicks that somehow conveyed both intelligence and purpose. Sarah's tablet automatically began recording and analyzing the patterns, but before the computer could attempt any meaningful translation, the alien ship transmitted again, this time in perfect English. "Greetings, vessel of Earth. We are the Zeraxian Collective. We have been observing your development and believe the time has come for proper introduction." The voice was synthesized but carried warm undertones that seemed deliberately crafted to put humans at ease. Rodriguez straightened his uniform and cleared his throat. "This is Ambassador Marcus Rodriguez of the Earth Alliance. We welcome peaceful contact. Indeed, we have monitored your species' rapid technological growth with great interest. Your adaptation rate is remarkable." There was a pause, and Sarah could have sworn she detected something like amusement in the synthetic voice. "Perhaps you would care to dock with our vessel. We have much to discuss regarding your future among the stars." Rodriguez glanced at Captain Helena Walsh, who gave a slight nod. "We would be honored," the ambassador replied. As the Hawking's docking procedures began, Sarah couldn't contain her excitement. "Ambassador," she said, stepping forward, "request permission to join the diplomatic team, if they're willing to discuss technology." Rodriguez smiled knowingly. "Already planned on it, Doctor. Your expertise might be crucial here." The docking procedure took nearly an hour, as their computer systems struggled to interface with the alien vessel's more advanced protocols. When the airlock finally cycled, Sarah found herself standing behind Rodriguez and Captain Walsh, heart pounding with anticipation. The inner doors slid open with a soft hiss, revealing their hosts. The Zeraxians stood nearly 2 meters tall, their bodies covered in iridescent scales that shifted colors with their movements. Their four-fingered hands ended in delicate points that suggested both precision and strength, while their elongated heads housed 3 sets of eyes that blinked in alternating patterns. The lead Zeraxian stepped forward, its scales shifting to a peaceful blue hue. "I am High Commander Vexthal. Welcome aboard the Celestial Harmony." What followed was a tour that left Sarah's mind reeling. The Zeraxian ship's technology was centuries beyond Earth's current capabilities. Their engine core used principles of quantum manipulation that Sarah had only theorized about in her most ambitious research. The ship's neural interface systems allowed for direct communication between crew and vessel, creating an efficiency that made traditional controls seem archaic. "You seem quite interested in our systems, Dr. Chen," Vexthal observed as Sarah scanned a power distribution node with her tablet. "It's extraordinary," she admitted. "The way you solved the quantum decoherence problem alone. We've been working on that for decades." Vexthal's scales rippled with what Sarah was beginning to recognize as their equivalent of a smile. "Perhaps we could arrange an exchange of knowledge. Your species' unique approach to problem-solving intrigues us. You often find solutions that we, with all our advanced technology, overlook." Rodriguez stepped in smoothly. "We would welcome such an exchange, assuming our respective governments approve." "Of course," Vexthal agreed. "We propose starting with some of our older vessel designs. Nothing too advanced, We wouldn't want to overwhelm you. There was that hint of amusement again, just enough to help you take your next steps into the galactic community. As they continued the tour, Sarah's mind was already racing with possibilities. The Xeraxians' technology was incredible, yes, but she could already see places where human innovation might improve upon their designs. Their power systems, while incredibly advanced, seemed to follow rigid protocols that might benefit from more flexible implementation. What none of them realized in that moment of first contact was how humanity's natural tendency to tinker, improve, and reimagine would soon send ripples through the galactic community. The Xeraxians' casual offer of technological exchange would trigger a chain of events that would challenge the very foundations of interstellar diplomacy. But for now, Sarah simply walked the halls of the alien vessel, her tablet filling with notes and observations that would soon help humanity take its first steps toward an unprecedented technological revolution and an interstellar diplomatic crisis that no one could have anticipated. 6 months after first contact, the research and development facility in Nevada's desert hummed with activity. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the center of the massive hangar, surrounded by holographic projections of Xeraxian ship schematics. Her team had been working around the clock, analyzing every detail of the basic ship designs their new allies had shared. Dr. Chen, James Foster, one of her junior engineers, rushed over with a tablet displaying complex energy distribution patterns. "You need to see this. We found something unusual in their power routing systems." Sarah studied the data, her expression shifting from curiosity to excitement. "They're using quantum tunneling for power distribution, but look at these pathways." She traced a finger along the complex network of energy flows. "They're following traditional physical architecture principles." "Exactly," James nodded enthusiastically. "But what if we applied neural network optimization instead? Let the power flow adapt dynamically, like a living system." The implications hit Sarah like a thunderbolt. The Xeraxians, for all their advanced technology, still thought in linear terms. Humanity's recent breakthroughs in artificial intelligence and neural networks could revolutionize their approach to power distribution. "Get the simulation team on this immediately," she ordered, already moving toward the central computer hub. "And contact Dr. Patel in quantum mechanics. We're going to need her expertise." Over the next few weeks, the facility buzzed with renewed energy. The breakthrough in power distribution was just the beginning. Sarah's team found numerous areas where human innovation could improve upon the Xeraxian designs. Their rigid, traditional approaches to technology left room for the kind of creative problem-solving that humans excelled at. "It's like they never considered breaking their own rules," Dr. Patel remarked during one late-night session. "They'd been using the same basic principles for so long, they've stopped looking for alternatives." Sarah nodded, staring at the prototype engine they'd constructed. It was smaller than the Xeraxian original, but promised to be 20% more efficient. "We need to test this in real-world conditions." The test flights began in secret, using unmanned drones to verify their modifications. Each success brought both excitement and concern. They were dramatically improving upon alien technology that was supposed to be centuries ahead of their own. Ambassador Rodriguez visited the facility regularly, watching their progress with growing unease. "The Xeraxians have been asking questions about our progress," he informed Sarah during one such visit. "They seem surprised by how quickly we're advancing." "We're just building on their foundation," Sarah argued, leading him through the hangar where their first full-sized prototype ship was under construction. "Everything we're doing is based on the technology they shared." "Yes, but..." Rodriguez paused, choosing his words carefully. "They expected us to take decades to fully understand these systems. We've done it in months, and we're already improving them." Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. James rushed in, his face pale. "Dr. Chen, we're detecting multiple unidentified ships entering the solar system. They're using Xeraxian drive signatures, but different." The prototype ship's sensors confirmed it. A fleet of vessels was approaching Earth, their design similar to Ziraxian ships, but distinctly more aggressive in appearance. The comm system crackled to life with a transmission in multiple alien languages before settling on English. Attention Earth facilities. This is Arch Commander Kexible of the Ziraxian Defense Fleet. Our long-range sensors have detected unauthorized modifications to our proprietary technology. All research activities are to cease immediately pending investigation. Sarah and Rodriguez exchanged alarmed looks. The ambassador immediately opened a channel to Earth's Defense Command, while Sarah frantically began transferring their research data to secure backup servers. They can't just demand we stop, Sarah protested. We followed all the guidelines in the Technology Exchange Agreement. The agreement assumed we'd take years to understand their tech, let alone improve it, Rodriguez replied grimly. Our rapid progress has obviously spooked them, and probably others in the galactic community. The situation deteriorated quickly. More alien ships arrived, not just Ziraxian vessels, but others of completely unknown design. Earth's defensive fleet mobilized, but they were hopelessly outgunned by the advanced alien ships. Yet even as the diplomatic crisis unfolded, Sarah couldn't help but notice something about the alien vessels gathering in orbit. Their designs, while impressive, all followed the same predictable patterns, the same rigid adherence to traditional principles that they'd observed in the shared technology. Ambassador, she said slowly, an idea forming. What if we showed them our improvements? Not as a challenge, but as a contribution. Rodriguez raised an eyebrow. You think that would help? The Ziraxians value efficiency and advancement. If we can prove our modifications actually improve their designs. She gestured to their prototype. We could turn this confrontation into a collaboration. As more alien ships gathered in orbit and Earth's leaders scrambled to respond to the crisis, Sarah's team worked frantically to prepare a comprehensive presentation of their innovations. Their very future might depend on proving that humanity's greatest strength wasn't in copying alien technology, but in reimagining it entirely. The orbital space above Earth had become a glittering display of alien technology. Dozens of vessels from various species had arrived, drawn by the news of humanity's rapid advancement. In the Nevada facility's main conference room, Dr. Sarah Chen watched the live feed with a mixture of pride and apprehension. The Kilari Coalition has just sent a delegation, Ambassador Rodriguez announced, entering the room with a tablet displaying diplomatic updates. That makes 5 major galactic powers now demanding explanations about our technological progress. Sarah pulled up the holographic display of their modified engine design. Then let's give them one. Is the demonstration ready? Nearly. But Sarah, Rodriguez lowered his voice. Some of these species aren't just concerned about the technology. They're worried about what it reveals about humanity itself. Our ability to understand and improve their designs so quickly. It frightens them. The truth of his words became apparent during the demonstration 2 hours later. The facility's main hangar had been converted into a presentation area, filled with representatives from various alien species. The Ziraxians, led by High Commander Vexthal, maintained their diplomatic composure, but their scales had taken on a troubled gray hue. Sarah stood before them, explaining their modifications. By implementing adaptive neural pathways in the power distribution system, we've increased efficiency by 23%. The quantum tunneling effect is now self-optimizing, reducing energy loss by. Impossible, interrupted a tall, crystalline being that Sarah recognized as a Kilari scientist. Such modifications would destabilize the entire system. These principles have been established for millennia. That's exactly the point, Sarah countered, bringing up a real-time simulation. We questioned those principles. Why follow rigid power pathways when we can let the energy find its own most efficient route? The alien audience muttered amongst themselves in various languages. A reptilian Drax ambassador stepped forward, its metallic scales reflecting the holographic displays. You have taken centuries-old technology and fundamentally altered its nature in months. This goes beyond mere modification. You are corrupting established designs. No, James Foster spoke up from beside Sarah. "We're evolving them. Look at the results. Our prototype isn't just more efficient, it's more stable, more adaptable, and easier to maintain." High Commander Vexthal raised a hand for silence. "Dr. Chen, while your achievements are impressive, they raise serious concerns. The galactic community maintains technological harmony through careful, controlled advancement. Your species' rapid progress and unorthodox methods threaten this balance." "With respect, Commander," Sarah replied, "isn't progress the point? You shared this technology to help us advance. We're simply approaching it with fresh perspectives that could destabilize millennia of established protocols." A Kilari elder interjected. "What happens when you apply this same radical thinking to weapons technology, to planetary defense systems?" The tension in the room grew palpable. Sarah realized they weren't just afraid of the technology. They were afraid of humanity's potential. Their ability to take established principles and transform them into something new and unexpected challenged the very foundation of galactic technological development. Ambassador Rodriguez stepped in smoothly. "Perhaps we should focus on the opportunities this presents. Humanity's unique approach to problem-solving could benefit all species. We're not looking to destabilize galactic society. We want to contribute to it by upending thousands of years of proven technological principles." The Drax ambassador's tail lashed in agitation. "Your species has been among the stars for less than a century. You cannot simply—" The ambassador's words were cut short by a sudden alarm. The facility's sensors had detected a new arrival in orbit, a massive ship unlike anything they'd seen before. Its design was organic, almost predatory, and it radiated energy signatures that dwarfed even the most powerful ships in the gathered fleet. "Vexthal," Sarah said quietly, noting the High Commander's scales had paled to almost white. "What is that?" "The Nexus Sovereignty," Vexthal replied, all three sets of eyes fixed on the orbital display. "They are collectors of technology, enforcers of technological balance in the galaxy. They have not been seen in this sector for centuries." As if on cue, a transmission boomed through the facility's speakers. The voice was neither masculine nor feminine, neither organic nor synthetic, but carried in weight of absolute authority. "Representatives of Earth, your species has drawn our attention. Your modifications to established technologies must be evaluated. Prepare for inspection. Resistance will be discouraged." Sarah looked at the worried faces around her, alien and human alike. Their breakthrough in improving alien technology had just attracted the attention of what appeared to be the galaxy's technological police. But as fear rippled through the assembled diplomats, her mind was already racing, seeking solutions. Perhaps humanity's greatest test wouldn't be in proving they could improve alien technology, but in proving they could be trusted with that ability. The Nexus Sovereignty ship cast an enormous shadow over the Nevada facility, visible even from the ground. Its hull seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it, creating an ominous void in the sky. Inside the facility's main control room, Dr. Sarah Chen and her team worked frantically to prepare for the impending inspection. "What exactly are we dealing with?" Sarah asked, glancing at High Commander Vexthal, who had remained behind while other alien delegates retreated to their ships. The Zeraxian's scales rippled with disturbing patterns. "The sovereignty exists to prevent technological imbalances that could threaten galactic stability. They have methods of ensuring compliance." "They destroy research facilities?" James asked, backing up data to quantum-encrypted servers. "No," Vexthal replied softly. "They simply ensure the knowledge is forgotten." The implication sent a chill through the room. Ambassador Rodriguez immediately opened a secure channel to Earth's Defense Command, but everyone knew their weapons would be useless against the sovereignty's advanced technology. A sharp crack of displaced air announced the arrival of the sovereignty's representatives. They materialized in the center of the control room, three tall figures enclosed in suits that seemed to bend light around them. Their faces were hidden behind featureless masks that shifted and swirled with impossible patterns. "We are the arbiters," the central figure announced, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "We have observed your modifications to established technologies. This requires assessment." Sarah stepped forward, ignoring Rodriguez's attempt to hold her back. "We welcome your assessment. Our improvements to the Xeraxian designs have increased efficiency and stability. We believe these innovations could benefit the entire galactic community." The arbiters turned their shifting masks toward her in perfect unison. "You misunderstand our purpose. We do not seek to advance technology. We maintain balance. Your species' rapid progression and uncontrolled innovation threatens this balance." "How can advancement threaten balance?" Sarah challenged. "The universe itself is constantly evolving. Why shouldn't technology do the same?" The lead arbiter raised a hand, and suddenly the air was filled with holographic displays of their research. "Your methods are chaotic, unpredictable. You take established principles and reconstruct them without regard for traditional frameworks. This creates instability." With respect, James interjected, "Isn't that exactly how breakthrough discoveries happen? By thinking beyond established frameworks." "Your perspective is limited," another arbiter stated. "We have witnessed the collapse of civilizations due to unchecked technological advancement. The protocols we enforce prevent such catastrophes." Sarah walked to the central display, highlighting their neural network power distribution system. "Look at our results. Yes, our methods are different, but they're not chaotic. We're not destroying established principles. We're building upon them in new ways." The arbiters conferred silently for a moment, their masks swirling with increased intensity. "Your species possesses dangerous potential. The rate at which you understand and modify advanced technology exceeds acceptable parameters. This cannot be allowed to continue." The air began to crackle with energy as the arbiters raised their hands in unison. But before they could act, Vexthal stepped forward, his scales blazing with urgent colors. "Honored arbiters, I request time to present additional context. The humans' modifications to our technology have revealed oversights in our own designs. Their perspective offers opportunities we had not considered." The energy in the room stabilized as the arbiters paused. "Explain," they commanded. Sarah seized the opportunity, pulling up comprehensive data on their improvements. "We didn't just change your technology. We understood it first. Really understood it. Look at these efficiency graphs. The neural network adaptation isn't random. It follows patterns we discovered in your original designs. Patterns you might have missed because you were too close to them." The lead arbiter moved closer to the displays, its mask pattern slowing as it analyzed the data. "Your approach is unprecedented. You do not merely copy, you reimagine." "Exactly," Sarah pressed. "Isn't that valuable? Different perspectives finding new possibilities in established technologies. We don't want to destabilize anything. We want to contribute." The arbiters' masks shifted through complex patterns as they communicated silently. The tension in the room grew until finally, the lead arbiter spoke again. "Your argument has merit. However, unrestricted advancement cannot be permitted. There must be parameters." Rodriguez stepped forward. "Then let's establish them together. Create a framework for responsible innovation that benefits everyone." As negotiations began between the arbiters, Earth's representatives, and the watching galactic community, Sarah realized they had reached a crucial turning point. Humanity's greatest challenge wouldn't be in proving they could improve alien technology, but in showing they could do so responsibly, bringing fresh perspectives to ancient principles without losing sight of the need for stability. The crisis wasn't over, but perhaps they had found a path forward that could bridge the gap between innovation and tradition, between human creativity and galactic stability. 1 month after the arrival of the Nexus Sovereignty, the Nevada facility had been transformed. What was once a secretive research installation now housed representatives from a dozen alien species, all working alongside human engineers in an unprecedented collaborative effort. Dr. Sarah Chen stood at her workstation, surrounded by holographic displays showing the progress of their latest project. Beside her, A Kilari scientist manipulated quantum equations while a Zeraxian engineer adjusted power flow simulations. The sight still amazed her. 3 months ago, these species had been threatening Earth over its technological modifications. The neural network adaptation is holding stable, James reported from his station. The Kilari crystalline matrix actually improves the response time by 47%. High Commander Vexthal, now a permanent liaison to the project, moved his 3 sets of eyes across the data streams. Remarkable. By combining your neural network principles with Kilari crystal technology and our power distribution systems, we've created something entirely new and entirely stable, added one of the arbiters who now supervise the facility. Their masks had become a familiar sight, though they still commanded respect and caution. The framework established for controlled innovation is being maintained. The framework had been the key to resolving the crisis. Instead of suppressing humanity's innovative spirit, the arbiters had helped establish guidelines for responsible technological development. Earth's engineers could continue their work, but with oversight and collaboration from the galactic community. Ambassador Rodriguez is ready for the demonstration, Sarah announced, checking her tablet. Shall we show the galaxy what cooperation can achieve? They gathered in the main hangar, where representatives from every major galactic power had assembled. The prototype ship sitting on the launch pad looked nothing like traditional designs. It was a hybrid of multiple species technologies, reimagined through human innovation. Rodriguez stepped up to address the gathered delegation. 1 month ago, we faced a crisis born of fear and misunderstanding. Today, we present the first fruits of true collaboration between our species. Sarah took over the presentation, bringing up detailed schematics. This vessel represents the best of all our technologies. Human neural networks working in harmony with Kilari crystals and Zeraxian power systems. Drax, navigation arrays enhanced by our adaptive algorithms. Every system has been improved through cooperation. The efficiency ratings exceed anything previously achieved, the Kilari scientists added. Yet the systems remain within established safety parameters. The lead arbiter stepped forward, its mask swirling with contemplative patterns. We have observed your work closely. While your methods remain unconventional, you have demonstrated the ability to innovate responsibly. The balance is maintained, yet progress is achieved. More than that, Vexthal interjected, his scales glowing with enthusiasm. This project has shown us that balance doesn't mean stagnation. Human perspectives have helped us see beyond our traditional limitations. A murmur of agreement rippled through the alien delegates. Species that had once viewed Earth with suspicion now saw potential for collaboration. The prototype ship stood as proof that innovation and stability could coexist. There is still much to learn, Sarah acknowledged, but we're ready to take our place in the galactic community. Not just as students, but as partners. The demonstration flight that followed proved every claim. The hybrid ship performed beyond even their optimistic projections, its systems working in perfect harmony. As it landed, the gathered species broke into their various forms of approval, from Kilari crystal chimes to the color wave displays of Zeraxian scales. A new protocol will be established, the arbiters announced. Earth will serve as a center for collaborative innovation. Under our supervision, your species' ability to reimagine established technologies, properly guided, may benefit all. Later, as the delegates celebrated their success, Sarah found a quiet moment with Rodriguez and Vexthal. Did you ever imagine this outcome when you first shared those ship designs with us? She asked the Zeraxian commander. Vexthal's scales rippled with amusement. We expected you to learn from our technology. Instead, you taught us to see it differently. Perhaps that was the greatest innovation of all. Rodriguez smiled. So what's next? Now that we have permission to innovate. Sarah looked out at the gathering of humans and aliens, all sharing ideas and possibilities. Now we show the galaxy what we can really do, together. This isn't just about improving technology anymore. It's about proving that different perspectives, properly combined, create something greater than the sum of their parts. The crisis that had threatened to restrict humanity's advancement had instead opened doors to unprecedented collaboration. Earth had found its place in the galactic community not by following established paths, but by showing how those paths could be reimagined for the benefit of all. As Sarah watched another test flight streak across the Nevada sky, she knew this was just the beginning. Humanity's journey among the stars would be defined not by conflict or competition, but by their unique ability to see new possibilities in old ideas, and their willingness to share those discoveries with their new allies. The future that stretched before them was limited only by their imagination and their commitment to responsible innovation. And that, Sarah realized, was the greatest breakthrough of all.